Facebook. I am getting my other cameras on, so bear with me just a moment. Hopefully I can get it on without. Bring this down just a little bit. Okay, that's perfect. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Resurrection Day to all. Happy Easter. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I know just everybody's probably in, not everybody, but a lot of people are probably in their Sunday service. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're coming in the room, can I get some double taps? I haven't been live in a while, and this morning I am gonna do an inspirational, just talk about the power of God. If you're in the room, come on in. If you are interested, let me see something. What is that? Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come in and say hello if you are in the room. Say hello, hello. Oh. Victory. On my TikTok. Get back in there, baby. Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry I had to step out for a minute. Who we have with us? Italist1. Hello, good morning. Thank you for stopping in. Can I get some double taps on the screen? Can I get some double taps on the screen? What is this? I'll leave it in there. Y'all, can you give me some double taps? I hope everyone is having an awesome weekend. I always call this, this is Resurrection Sunday. I also like to call it the Passover for me as well. I like that from the teachings and what I know. I love this. This is like a celebration weekend. Hello, Lady Diane. Hello, good morning. Eric Moran is in the house. Hello, hello, happy Sunday. Thank you for my roses. Thank you for coming in. We got Lady Diane. Thank you for showing up. Funzo58 is in the house. Good morning, King. How are you? How are you? Happy Sunday. Hi, King Eric Moran. Hello. Thank you for my roses this morning. I appreciate them. Thank you so much. I haven't been on, y'all. I have to come off TikTok completely sometimes for a while to give myself a break, so I'm not tempted to be jumping, on all the time. So sometimes I have to come off because I am busy. I'm not like a lot of people that I see on TikTok. They're retired. So I don't have a lot of leisure time. But I'm live in a couple of places, and I want to try to keep these in view because they're going to be up later for replay. So how's everybody morning going? Anybody miss me a little bit? Just a little bit. But anyways, I'm not going to be live long. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm not going to be live long. I just came to talk about the power of God. Y'all know I don't I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I haven't owned a TV in probably about 15 years. It's been 15 years, I think. It's been 15 years. But I will, I'm up for watching a good movie with someone. Good morning, King Kevin Walker. How are you? You're so beautiful. I miss you. Thank you. Thank you, King. I appreciate that. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It feels good to be missed. It definitely does. It's so warm. That ring light produces so much heat. Maybe I need to get another one. Ooh-wee. I don't want to. Ooh. It produces a lot of heat, and I haven't started running my air conditioning yet. Happy Sunday to you, my queen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, King. I appreciate it. But anyways, I'm coming this morning to talk about something that's been on my mind for, I just want to use a piece of, I'm going to tear this off, for a while. And for a couple of weeks, for probably about 3 weeks. And it's been, I'm losing connections on one of my lives. What is going on? But it looks like I'm losing connection on one of my lives. Let's see. I think I did for some reason, and I don't know why. But let me see, can I bring it back up? Okay, so it looks like I might be able to bring it back up. But I've been thinking about the power of God for about 3 weeks. And I know about some years ago, it's probably about 13, probably, has it been 13? No more than that. But anyways, I always have done a lot of reading to things that, you know, I was drawn to, or that I'm drawn to. I don't just go read things because somebody tells me about it, unless it's something that really resonates with me and I'm like, oh, let me go check this out. I'll go and read up on it. But I like to do a lot of reading and researching. Does that make me nosy? But I just like to be informed, because sometimes in this life, all of us are on our journey, in our path, whether we consider it spiritual or not. We are on a journey. We're in a journey to making sense of our world, our lives, and especially when things don't seem to add up. You know, you get this urge or this feeling or something that there has to be more than this. So you go on a search, and you're in your private time praying to God. You know, God, is this it? There has to be more, or this doesn't make sense, or this really doesn't add up. You know, when you go on this search and you go to questioning things and wondering about things, and therefore, if something pops up and it really ignites or gets your attention, You'll go and look into it a little bit further, dig a little bit deeper and say, well, is this one of the pieces to the puzzle? Because I believe we only know in part, and everything comes together as a whole as we begin to grow and develop more as spiritual beings and as human beings as well. So I've always have been inquisitive about the spiritual things and the power of God and knowing more. When I heard of these things, they always grab my interest. I'm a person that you won't see, following the crowd per se. Unless it's something that really interests me, and I'm a person, I don't know why, but spiritual things always spark my interest when it's about God, encouragement, upliftment, things of that nature. It has always, personal development has always been something that has gotten my attention. And for the most part, my younger self always wanted to be better. Always wanted to be better, always wanted to grow and wanted to know more, because I figured knowing more would in turn develop me into the person that I desired to be. So, and that's still true today. Isn't that something? It never stops. It never stops. So I'm still growing. But the last 3 weeks, I've been thinking about the power of God and how I've seen, and I'm sure most of us, especially if you've been on this earth for a while, you've experienced the power of God. I mean, whether you acknowledge it or not, the only way you can make it through this life is by encountering the power of God in some way, shape, or form, to get you through your challenges in life. So, but I've lately just have been thinking about the power of God. And I know there are a lot of people, I don't own a TV and for about 15 years probably. And when I tell someone that, they always come at me with like, how do you know what's going on? And and to me, in my thought, I'm like, it's sad if the only way you're in tune with your surroundings and what's going on in your life is by you tuning in to some type of electronic media. You should be connected with the divine, that part of your animalistic instinct where it's really a spiritual instinct that you're connected to the source that will give you this information that is going to cover you, keep you, and protect you. And I'm not saying that the media doesn't, or mass media doesn't serve its purpose, because I still get it some way, because I am on social media, not as much as some people are. But, I get updates. I don't really look into it. Like, I know there was this big thing in the media lately about, all I can tell you about the war in Ukraine. I can't tell you anything else. Or about the thing that happened with Will Smith. I don't watch those videos. I've just seen a little glimpse of it. I don't go look into it. I just don't follow gossip because it does not serve me. And knowing those details is not going to do anything to enhance my life. I just don't. It doesn't. I just pray whatever is going on in their lives, that it's taken care of and that their lives get better. And I always pray for everybody in the world all the time, since, we live in it. So we have to be careful not to let this the world system not have us to focus just on negativity, because that is what's going to expand in our lives. Whatever we give our attention to is going to grow. And I always say, too, there are people who are drawn to things because that is their calling. I could call out some things, but I don't. Let's say like law enforcement. They have to deal with a lot of things that are not so positive. And that's their profession. So that's what they're going to be drawn to. And for some people, that is their calling. Ever since they come into this realm, they haven't wanted to do anything other than once they saw it, they was like, that's what I want to do. And they've done it their entire life, their entire career, because that was their calling. So there are certain things that I do believe that are individuals' calling that has to deal with things that are not so positive. But anyways, going back to the power of God. But anyways, by this being Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday for some, and I love the idea of Passover because it also demonstrates Passover, Resurrection Sunday. Both of those to me has to do with the demonstration of the power of God. And it's not really, I wouldn't say my platform is not geared toward traditional religion, but I'm a person who reads the Bible. I will never stop doing that. That is my go-to read, my number one uno. But I am not a traditional religious person. But the Passover and Resurrection Sunday are some of the most common monuments that marks the power of God. When the sea was parted and the children of Israel crossed over and Pharaoh's army was drowned, supernaturally. That was the power of God. And when there was the angel that came through and they were able to anoint the doors and death passed by, everyone whose house was marked. It was a Passover. There was a protection of the power of God demonstrated for his people. And then thinking about the resurrection of Christ, it was the power of God that raised him up, if you believe in that. And I believe in the gospel, definitely. And believe in the power of God. And also that same power that worked for the children of Israel, that same power that raised Christ from the dead also dwells in us if you have received Christ as your Lord and Savior. So therefore, if you are looking, or individuals are watching your life, there should be some progression or evolving as to who you were and what you were like 10 years ago should not be the same today. There should be a demonstration of God's power in your life. And sometimes everyone doesn't see it, but that's when, depending on when the timing is right, you can present your testimony and tell the goodness and the power of the Most High God operating in your life. But I also wanted to say that if you come to God, you must first believe. There are some people that have gotten away from believing in the power of God, and if you don't believe, that's the thing. I pray to God that, and I think that is the biggest sin, because the Most High God knows we're born into a very imperfect system, a world system that does not always have your best interest in mind. It serves its own interest, and you have to grow to know that. But then there is a God system or a kingdom system. And you have to know and be aware of that as well. So God knows that everybody's beginnings are not the same. And I always say your whatever environment you're born into, that's your first teacher. And that's what shapes and molds your mind, the way you think, how you see life, and how you see yourself. And what you think and how you believe is what's going to cause what you see to manifest in your life. Even though good morning, Vanessa, Grand Rising, sis, Grand Rising Queen. Thank you for dropping in to show some love. I appreciate you. Thank you. So what our first teachers, how we think, and how we see ourselves and how we see life. That's what causes things to manifest in our lives. That's why you can see, depending on your level of consciousness, that's what you're manifest. There are some people that say, oh, I don't need all of that. They don't really like, I'm going to just say, for instance, you got to have a level of consciousness to manifest Gucci, Prada, Rolls Royces, things of that nature, Bentleys. That is a certain level of consciousness. And if you're not there, you're not going to manifest it. I'm telling you. So it depends on and how you cultivate your mindset and spending time with the Most High God. And not everyone wants those things. And you don't have to, but those are things that goes with a level of sees Burns. Oh, thank you, Grand Rising Queen Burns. Exactly. Manifest and create the life you want. Exactly. And our first surroundings, like I was speaking before with, you got some children that are born owning estates, and then you got children who are born that barely owns a piece of bread. Those two children are going to have two totally different levels of consciousness and what they can manifest in their lives because of the environment and the culture or what they're born into. So you may have a child, they're born up in an how should I say, in the system of foster care or orphanages, and their beginnings are going to be different than someone who's born in a two-parent home, So you got different levels. So throughout this journey, we are evolving, and growing, and depending on how you nurture your spirit and believe in the power of God, that the power of the Most High God, when you get in alignment, you can manifest just about anything. You have to believe that you can and be able to see these things in the spiritual realm if you can get to that point and see. But that's just one of the things that have been really on my mind, lately. And you have to be careful on like who you are around throughout your life, because everyone doesn't believe the same, and if you're not careful, depending on the influence that individuals have on you, they can coach you in a way of thinking that will not be beneficial or profitable in your life. And sometimes unknowingly and sometimes knowingly, you have some people that are very crafty and they know when your way of thinking is elevating or leveling up, and they'll try and suppress that way of thinking or oppress it and keep it at bay so that you don't raise your level of consciousness. And you have to be mindful of that. So that's why it's important. And I always say to me, Passover time is so powerful. And that's what Resurrection Sunday, Easter, whatever you celebrate, Passover time, to me, it is so powerful. Because if you have been cultivating your spirit and everything, who knows what God is passing you over into? Have you been seeing signs of things changing, or having a strong belief of you're shifting, and you could be shifting into a totally different reality, you know? So you don't know what God has for you, especially when you are, excuse me, y'all, when you are doing the things that nurture and cultivate the innermost part of the essence of your being, you know. So I wanted to come on and share those with you. And if you need scriptures, let me see, did I have any? I was going to read some because some people like scriptures, but I am not a pastor and I don't like to come on here and try to. But I am a person who reads my Bible and pray probably more than most pastors do. I'm sure I do. But I know if you are into reading your Bible, let me see. Give me 1 second. It's so warm in my office. Oh, 1 Corinthians 2:4-6. I love that one. Let me see. 1 Corinthians 2:4-6. I'm going to tell you why. It says, "For I determined not to know anything among you save Jesus Christ and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God." So I always say, and I do life coaching. I do spiritual life coaching. I've been doing that for a while, and I've expanded that's what Elevated Living Today is about. It's about spiritual life coaching. Spiritual life, and I do wellness coaching as well. But I am a person who believes in people being empowered. Empowered knowing that you have the power within you to change your life. God has given you that power and that authority to change your life. You know, there are some things we know we enter into this realm, this earthly realm, and we one day have to exit it, you know. But while we are here, we are here to experience this realm in a mighty way. And just because you were born in a certain area, predicament, you know, it doesn't always have to stay that way. You know, there are some things that you can change about your life if you're willing to put in the work. Some people are not willing to put in the work. They just satisfied with the status quo and just don't have a problem with their life remaining the same. They rather just complain and be satisfied with it not changing. They'll complain about it. And that's why I had to come to a point to where I don't even coach everyone. I do not coach everyone just because you're would be a paying client. I don't coach everyone because everyone really is not wanting help. Some people are satisfied where they are. They're just used to complaining about it without doing the things that will cause them to actually make progress in their life. And that is one of the things that I consider myself an elevationist. Now that is awesome, Queen. I like that. I love that. I love that. Going from that to, I can't say that right now. I was going to say something. But going from faith to faith and from glory to glory, we should always be elevating all the way. Always, always going from faith to glory to glory, because that is what this life is about. Wherever we start, that is not where we are going to finish. Not if we have the faith and are willing to do the work. Right? Yes, but I love that. I love that. But that's what Elevated Living Today is about. If you wanted to read more about uh, it as well, you can go to the website, which is theelevatedlivingtoday.com. That's THE in front of Elevated Living Today. And again, I don't know if I said it. My name is Tammy, and I do spiritual and wellness life coaching. I assist individuals with meal plans, getting there if you're interested in losing weight or just overall getting your health in a better state. Overall getting your health in a better state. That is what I remember. I was telling someone, actually I think about 2 days ago. I remember when I used to go to this, I was a secretary at this church for about 7 years. And a lot of people come talk to you, and sometimes they ask you for prayer. You work in the ministry and everything. But anyway, she asked me to pray for her because she had high blood pressure. And I think about it today, back then, I was a little more, how should I say it, different about my approach, but she asked me to pray for her about her high blood pressure. So I was saying the prayer, praying for her about her high blood pressure. And I say, Lord, if it's her diet that needs to be changed, please direct her to what she needs to do. But, today if somebody comes and asks me to pray for them for their high blood pressure, why am I going to pray for you for your high blood pressure? Why don't you just change your diet? So God is giving you that power. Find out there's something you're eating that's causing your blood pressure to elevate. Good morning. AI United, good morning. How are you? But I'm like, why would I go there? There's something underlying. I can help you maybe in assisting you with come up with another meal plan or a diet or something that will cause that issue to go away. But there's an underlying issue that's causing your blood pressure to elevate. And but if it'll make you feel better, we could pray about it, but it'll be better if you do something about it. It'll be better if you just do something about it, because high blood pressure is nothing to play with, so you want to take care of that with something other than prayer. And but anyways, y'all, that's just something I was talking to somebody about the other day that I found rather funny. And that's what a lot of situations today, a lot of people would prefer to go stand somewhere and ask people to pray for them about a situation. And sometimes you do, but in that prayer, more than likely, God is going to direct you to some information that is going to be that answer to that issue, which more than likely is going to cause some type of work, and on your part, that you need to do. So that's all I had to come to you all about. I call this Passover weekend. I love the Passover weekend. It always drops into my spirit about the power of God. So guys, never, ever pull away from believing in the power of God. I always say that, some people focuses on, so much on pointing out people's sins or faults or things like that. And some things just dissipate with growth, with time and prayer. But for the most part, a lot of us, and mainly the biggest sin that I like to focus on that we commit is unbelief. not trusting and believing in what God said He would do. Losing, and it's so easy to lose faith because we have so many things that targets our faith and our belief. Our belief system. There can be someone watching you and see you're enthused and you're full of faith, and they're coming to your life just to bring you down a couple notches. You have to be aware of those people. They'll try to, and really crafty about it, coming into your life just to bring you down so your faith is not so high. So guys, keep your faith elevated in knowing and trusting in God and seeing the power of God demonstrated in your life. I remember I'm going to tell y'all about these two instances before I leave about the power of God when I wasn't even thinking about it. I remember one instance when I was about 8 years old. And 8 years old, I lived in Florida. And we were in the storm where we lived. We were right at this big river. Most of where we did our business was at this river. So we had there was this grocery store and a Family Dollar store right next to each other. And it was right on the river. We called it the riverfront. So we were leaving out of the dollar store, and in Florida, tornadoes would just come without warning. Now, we kind of could prepare for hurricanes, but tornadoes would come, hailstorms would come unannounced. Okay, they would just show up, So one day we was leaving out of the dollar store, and it just started hailing. And after a while, these windstorms came through, and it got so strong. And we had like this little small station wagon. It wasn't a huge station. It was a little, like a miniature station wagon, something like. So my brother was driving at the time. My mom was in the car. And I used to love to hop in the back because I was a little kid. So we sitting there in the parking lot, and it just started hailing these big hail rocks and all this wind. And the car, it wasn't even on the ground anymore, y'all. It was just like this in the air. And all I saw was us going over to that river, and I couldn't swim. And that river was full of alligators. I said, oh, we're going to be eaten alive. I can't swim. So my brother was like, y'all don't be scared. And my mom just started praying. She just started praying the whole while she was praying. After a while, that car just sat down on the ground. I'm telling y'all, I just knew we were goners that day. After a while, that wind just ceased, and the car sat down on the ground, and we went home and went about our day like it was nothing. Nobody talked about it or anything, but I remember that so vividly. And that was one of my experiences of the power of God, because I know there are a lot of people that stories didn't turn out that way, okay? And another story was when, God bless you, Queen. Thank you, AI United. Thank you so much. Chili said that just happened to me. Child said that just happened to me. Oh my, yes, it did. So another incident was I was about 11 years old. And I think I was about 11. And I got a brother who is like 2 years older than I am. And we love to eat. We lived in Florida, so we love to eat mangoes. My mom would buy mangoes by the boxes for us, right? So I'm just home. I was home by myself that day. Or my brother was out. I was in the house by myself that day. I was never home by myself. But I was in the house by myself that day, and my brother, because when we had a big yard, and my mom was always out gardening. So anyways, I was eating this mango, and it got stuck, and it wouldn't go down. And I was right in front of the bathroom door. And when you come into our front door, we had a front door and a back door. And when you come in the front door, my room was kind of like next to the bathroom. And I was standing in front of the front door, and the seed would not go down. And my eyes, I felt like I was suffocating. My eyes was bulging and I couldn't breathe. And my brother walked in the door. I did not tell him what was going on. And he just started beating me in my back. He started beating me in my back so hard. He didn't know what was going on. And that seed went down. And y'all, don't ask me. I don't remember it coming out either. I don't even remember it coming out either. But he started beating me so hard. And I remember I always tell him about that story. But I couldn't breathe, y'all. I couldn't breathe. My eyes were so watery. That's all I remember. I just thought I was dying. And he just happened to walk through the door. And I don't know how he knew what was wrong with me. But he just started beating me in my back so hard. And I didn't care about those beats in the back. I couldn't breathe. But anyway, it finally went down and we just went about our life, like nothing was wrong. I don't even remember telling my mom about that. But I remember that same brother, he got shot. He got shot about 6 times. I think it was 7 times. And he was just left there. And so happened, I think one of the neighbors or whatever ended up seeing. Anyways, he made it to the hospital. And we were all called, early one morning. And when I heard it, because he and I, we were real close. And I'll never forget, I cried out to God so. I cried out to God so. I was not prepared for a negative outcome of that situation. And my brother today is alive. He still has one. They got out all of the bullets except for one. One is still, and they said it was too much of a risk to take that one out. But I always think about, that how I'm not going to say, I believe my prayer is what made its way to the Most High that kept it. I believe that. It wasn't just mine, but we had other family as well. But I know when I went in to see my brother, he was unrecognizable. Oh my God. He didn't even look, I don't know what he looked like. But anyways, he's still here today and he does look a lot like himself and he looks well and he's a happy person and who believes in the power of God, who talks about God. But y'all, I just want to tell y'all that even though people may not be able to see, they just see the presentation of you. But there are demonstrations of the power of God if you believe in them. God is real. God's power is real. Keep your faith because as the Queen Elevationist says, God is taking us from faith to faith. Oh, King Eminette, how are you? Amin to Wit. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you. Thank you so much for dropping in to show your love and support. I appreciate you. But God is so wonderful, and there are so many more stories that I could tell y'all, especially I'm still here. Still here because of the power of God. There are so many, I got so many more stories. Maybe I'll save those for another live or another video. But if you believe anything in God is possible, don't let anything shake your faith. And sometimes we do go through so much where it tries our faith. And hopefully, and I pray that by someone watching this live this morning, that it gives them faith in the power of God even the more, because God is real and God's power is real, because we all have a course that we have to finish. And I'm praying and I'm seeing all of us finish our course strong, and that we keep the faith so that on our journey we can see the miracles and the power of God demonstrated in our lives until we finish our course here. All right, I love you guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. Let me see, I got a couple cameras going here. See, Queen Burns is still with us. And it is King Mantuit. Thank you so much. God is. All right, I love that. I even love that song. You probably know that song too. That's that's going way back. But I actually have it on my list, my playlist. I got a song on my playlist. I don't know if it was Andre Crouch that sung it. It could have been the Clark sisters. But anyways, I have to look it up. Say praise him. Absolutely. I'm trying to look like somebody else came in. Oh, I did. Tom Boyer. Thank you, King, for stopping in. Thank you, King Mantuit. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up on the live. Thank you all for spending time with me. I got to go now and prepare. Again, my name is Tammy, and I do spiritual and life coaching. My website is theelevatedlivingtoday.com, and I'm going to be off, and I'll see you all. I'll probably be doing a TikTok video later or tomorrow, sometime this week. I got to get around to posting. I love TikTok. I love to have fun. Get my dance on, y'all. I love you guys. Have an awesome rest of your Sunday, Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, Passover Sunday. Y'all, I love Passover weekend. I just love I love celebrating Passover. Let me post that. I love celebrating. Let me end these other recordings. I don't want them to be too long. Hold on. Let's see. View. But give me one more second. Hold the line. This is asking me for a title here. Ooh, I have to go back. But anyways, that ring light produces so much heat. I don't know how it does that. Ooh-wee. It said, thank God. Timberlake said, amen. Uh-oh. But you all, I have to amend to it. Let's see, praise him. James. Is it? Yes, it sure is. James Cleveland. That is it. So you know. Look at that. Hey. So you know. It's good when you have somebody on that can relate. Because I love to go back and grab some of my songs that really does it for me. Good morning, King Warren G's. Hey, friend. Happy Resurrection. Happy Resurrection to you as well. Happy Resurrection Day. So, y'all, I'm going to go. I'm gonna tell y'all my meal for today. Y'all know I just finished a 21-day master cleanse fast. So I've been trying to stick with my raw diet, raw vegetable, because I'm vegan, but I've been trying to stick with my raw vegan diet. I did it for 2 years, and I just didn't like how skinny I got. But I think I'm gonna have to get used to that skinniness, but now I'm just toning so I don't have so much loose skin. But what I prepared, y'all want to hear what I prepared? I prepared raw collard greens. Anybody had raw collard greens before? But I got it 2 different ways. I made a cashew like cream sauce, and then I made a tomato sauce with fresh tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes with garlic in both of them, because I love garlic, y'all. But it is so good. You see, King Michael McKnight, good morning, happy Sunday to you. Looks very, truly, amazingly, blissfully beautiful. Thank you so much. Have a blissful, beautiful personality. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by to show your love. I appreciate it. So, I love you. I love you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So you all, I hope you are having a great day of celebration. I used to do my meditations live here, but now I do my meditations in a private group. So if you're interested, y'all can go check out my website. It's The Elevated Living Today, THE in front of Elevated Living Today. And you can read up a little bit more about me and also what I have to offer. I enjoyed being here. Thank you. I enjoyed you being here. Thank you for visiting with me and being live and engaging. I appreciate that, Queen. And I got to go and check out your profile. I got to check out your profile. I'll go and check that out in a little bit because I got something to do here in a few minutes. So I'll be seeing you all a little later. So I should be, I want to try to get a TikTok in because I don't know if I'll be able to be on here for the next week. But anyways, we'll see. Okay, I will check it out. All right, thank you. I love you guys. Have an awesome, 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 awesome rest of your day. And peace and blessings. Peace and love. Continue peace and blessings. I love y'all. Bye now.